Hello, and this is the Warp Forge with basically an introduction to a new, hopefully a new 40k series. I'm going to call this series Doctrina Imperatives. Why? Well, as you can see, I've kind of started Adeptus Mechanicus. Although, mine's with a twist, it is going to be Night Lord's affiliated Dark Mechanicum. Now, people will be wondering why, because it plays into the fluff of me Night Lord's force, obviously, especially with this character here and his relationship with Coraxus, my main warlord. This is Zefron, the Master of Puppets. And this guy, basically, all he does is mess things up for Coraxus, especially when Coraxus gets torn in half, then gets all demon stuff ploughed into him because Zefron doesn't care. Zefron's all about control and nothing else. So, you might have heard of Zefron as well from the Ave Dominus Nox video with the Unforgiven. He is part of the backstory in that, so if you haven't listened to that yet, please check that video out as well for the Ave Dominus Nox project. So what is in this force so far? Well, we have 3 squads of Rangers, we have 3 squads of Vanguard, we have 3 squads of 3 battle servitors, I think they're called breaches, with the torsion cannons, although I use them as 2 squads of 4, with Zefron for the unholy requisitioner formation. I call it unholy because it fits theme a bit more than holy requisitioner. That'll be a bit ironic, wouldn't it? We also have 2 orange June callers. I'm going to take the magnets off and replace them with the anti-aircraft guns. We have another Tech Magos. I haven't really thought of fluff or idea behind him. I just thought that conversion looked cool with the hydraulic claw from the battle servitor kit, and to add in another squad of these to make the formation. So that's probably next on my list as well. Another squad of Castle and Battle robots with their little friend there to keep them right. I want to make that formation as well because I think that'll be cool, having 2 Dominiuses on the board with these big ass bastards. I know they're not the big guns that are Strength 6 AP3, instead they've got power fists, but when I look at the rest of my force, I just think, how much shooting do I have? And I need something in combat-y to support or to countercharge anything that charges them. So I think this is going to be a fantastic way to dealing with that, especially with power fists, strength 10 on toughness 7 monstrous creatures. I think that's going to be great. We also have 2 squads of Rust Stalkers. First one here, he's a conversion. Doesn't look like it, but the legs weren't meant to go together like that on this body. Basically what I did was a mistake. I made 5 standard guys, so I need to find a way to make 2 Rust Stalker champions. So I kind of, if this zooms in, no. This will zoom in now. There. So basically what I did was I used a bit of green stuff, a bit of super glue here and there. Well, liquid green stuff, not green stuff. And then for the chord claw, cord claw, but I usually call it chord claw because, you know, it's a big ass hand. And cord sounds a little bit like chord. So chord claw. So basically what I did was a bit of super glue, there was a massive gap, so I used a bit of liquid green stuff to fill it, and it gives it an alternate pose as opposed to this guy who is basically just standard as possible. But again, that's just another unit of 5, that's a unit 5. I'm hoping for another unit of Sakaran Infiltrators to make the Sakaran Kill Clade, and that is my force so far, and to be fair, I love it. What I've been really enjoying is the Skitarii arm of things, so I'm going to pause this. So yeah, I've been really enjoying the Skitarii wing of things from the Adeptus Mechanicus codexes, only because ever since in 2008 when I started really reading the fluff properly, I started in 2007 gaming-wise, 2008 I started looking properly into the background, and I love the idea of the Adeptus Mechanicus. When I learned about all the Skitarii stuff and all that, it was very wide or open to interpretation, because obviously I didn't realise that they already had made an army previous in 2nd edition and they only re-brought them back. So back in 2008, I was thinking it would be awesome to have a very customizable force like this. And then last year or 2 years ago, bam, these came out. I was like, oh, I look like Randy Marshall in that episode of South Park. I seriously did. It was so gorgeous models of Skitarii. Like, the ranges are exactly how I pictured Skitarii in my mind, based off various concept art and art from Games Workshop artists. I thought it was fantastic, and I was very glad that I've got all this. I also learned recently that in the primary detachment for the special stuff for the Skitarii, you can have up to 8 squads, because it's compulsory to have 2, but it's optional to have an extra 6. I thought it was just maximum 6, like combined arms detachment, but it's not. So 8 squads of Skitarii, 80 bodies, bring it on. When I think of Skitarii, or when I think of Diptus Mechanicus, I think of a guy like him and a bunch of these just launching themselves out and out and out and out there, getting shot up, blasted, but that's nothing compared to getting the data that they need. And I absolutely love that idea. So yes, I want 2 more squads of Skitarii, I want a unit of infiltrators, and I want a unit of Castellan robots. Now, if you know Diptus Mechanicus and you've built a load of these kits, like I have, very painstakingly, because I'll tell you what, I love the models, but they aren't half fiddly to make with the Skitarii. I know people were saying that the Rust Stalkers were fiddly, and I didn't find much problem with them at all. I had to get creative here and there because I started losing count of the numbers with the parts, and I started mixing and matching too much. Had a bit creative there, but that was my own fault. But the Rust Stalkers weren't that much, but the Skitarii, those guns and the guns and the bodies do not fit well for multi-purpose or multi-part, should we say. It's not like Space Marines where you can just slap them together. You do have to follow the instructions with the numbers on, with the corresponding stuff. So it would end up looking a bit samey at times, and I tried rebelling against that, and I'll tell you what, it took us twice as long because I decided to rebel against the instruction manual. So I think in my next 2 boxes I'm following the instruction manual hard on, and hopefully it'll half the time that it took us to build all these. So anyway, going back to the point, a bit digressing there. With the Adeptus Mechanicus, you get a lot of spare bits, and I mean a lot. Like, you get full-on spare bits for multiple other varieties or variations of the same model. So, like, you can get Cataphren destroyers, I can't remember what they were. There's breaches, and then I think there were destroyers where you can get the grav cannon, the plasma culverin and stuff. Now, I've got 3 squads of these battle servitors, and what that basically means is I've got now 3 full sets of the same weapon for each weapon, so I just think there's no point of us getting any more battle servitors because I've already got the bits. So what I was planning on doing was, especially with this being Dark Mechanicus, oh sorry, not Dark Mechanicus, Dark Mechanicum, it's late, I'm tired, don't blame me. And with the spare bits, what I was going to do was first off try out a new conversion. There's a conversion on the Spiky Bits website, I can't remember where, but if you look into the 40k Scratch Builds playlist that I've got for public in my playlist section, or my library, or whatever it's called now, you'll find it there, and it's basically a Connect Wraith, but instead of it curling down as normal, Rob Bear, yeah, who owns Spiky Bits, he made the conversion where he cut the body in half and had it curved upwards like a scorpion. And where the tail is, you replace the tail with the Talos tail. Now, what I was going to do for mine was keep the tail on, but when it starts going crazy with the whole tail thing, cut it off where it goes crazy, then replace it with a plasma culverin. Now, if I can get 3 squads of 3 from the Tomb Spider, the Tomb Wraith kit, or the Connect Wraith kit, I think that would be a really nice looking conversion, especially if I can just add like an undead or like a half living dead servitor cockpit guy wired into the main body or something. I think that would look great, and then just add like spikes here and there for a little bit of extra oomph or flavour to the models. I was also going to get a box of augers, just standard normal augers, 2 boxes of Necron Destroyers, get rid of the upper torso of the Necron Destroyers and just have the surfboard, and then with the augers, get the upper torso of the augers, so get rid of the legs, put the augers on top of the Destroyers, then replace one of the arms with the grav cannon, so keep the keep the shoulder, cut off the arm where it goes onto the weapons, then replace it with the grav cannon upgrade. I can't remember what it's called at this moment in time, but it's the grav option. And I was hopefully going to get 6 of them, and then maybe get another 3 or something. What I was also going to do is I've got a load of spare robotic leg things from a different game called RoboGear. It was out for a while. It was an Airfix game in the UK, but you can get it through Russia apparently now, and well, you can only get it through Russia, and eBay seems to stock them at times, so always keep an eye out for them. But I've got a load of robotic legs, which I'm going to stick underneath the Tomb Destroyer legs, like just 3 legs per model, so it looks a bit like a tripod-esque spider-looking thing. And the idea was to really make it look Doom-esque, like the scorpion spiders that I had in mind. I think that would look absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. What else was I going to do? I was also going to do, I have no idea, but since I've got all the weapon options, because I've got one more model to build, which I have physically, is another Onager, because I wanted a squad of 3 of these, the anti-aircraft gun, because there's a lot of aircraft or flying monsters creatures spam in my area, so I wanted some way to deal effectively with that, and nothing says efficiency of anti-air better than these, I find. So a squad of 3 of them, launching anti-air fire and just saying, deal with it. Enjoy all this cannonade. So I've got one more of them to build, but obviously, this being a Detus Mechanicus, you get the weapon options for all of them. So what I was going to do was try and get just various tanks or various walkers or monstrous creatures and convert them up into like really Doom-esque looking things with the weapon options. One of the ideas I have going is a Triox Stalker from the Necron kit. Love Necrons, isn't there? But a Triox Stalker from the Necron kits, then adding spikes and stuff as you do, but then replacing the Necron underslung turret with the death cannon. I think it's a small template, strength 10 AP 1. So a squad, 3 of them with the death cannon things, I think would be absolutely fantastic. I think that would be a really nice looking conversion, in my opinion. So, all that aside, that's what I've got planned for the Doctrina Imperatives series. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you see and you want to see more updates, especially with what I've got planned for conversions and stuff, then please give this a subscribe. This channel subscribe. Please share this video around, get the word out there, get more people hopefully following this Dark Mechanicum stuff and the series. And if you liked what I heard about, well, if you liked what I said, then give this video a like, please. And if there's anything you want to discuss, I'm more than happy to discuss it with you down in the comments section below. So thank you for watching. This is the Warp Forge, signing out, and remember, keep on forging.